Welcome back to the Azureta. I'm Jorge
Hello,
Arteiro. Hello.
Fernando. Hi there.
Nuno,
and
what you have for us? I know that you have something about K3D and
yep,
K3X, the graphical interface. That's like a local Kubernetes cluster, very lightweight. Go ahead.
exactly.
People want to see that.
Let's.
And
Okay,
Rancher
so
was just some acquisition process on Rancher with Suzy, and I think will be exciting.
let's see what they will bring. But it's two companies that are known really to work a lot on innovation. So I guess it will be lots of surprises for us with the lucky ones with this new company, Suze Rancher. So let's see how it goes. But today, it will be very short. I will explain the full thing maybe in a blog post. But right now, I just wanted to share with you something quite cool around this K3S world. There's the project that I'm using quite a lot since some time now, called K3D, K3S in Docker, so K3D. And a member of the community actually created the K3X project, which is K3D user interface. So everything is prepared here. That's what I'm saying about the blog post. I will explain maybe how to do the full thing to get here. And then from here on, what we are able to do is actually deploy a K3D cluster without any commands, just using this user interface, which is quite neat. So no code, no terminal, or almost. I will be coming to the terminal just to show what is happening, just to confirm. But then you will see that we can just deploy a Kubernetes cluster almost as simple, really, as the Docker desktop, for example, that we have now. Okay, so we just click a checkbox, done. Here, we are leveraging the K3D project. So first of all, you know me, I'm under WSL2 on Windows 10. I do have just a small, not small, but I have a custom kernel, but that's part of for another project, but just I prefer to reference it. And yeah, I'm running the latest Ubuntu. So this is the store release. Okay, so that's the Ubuntu coming from Microsoft Store, and I just let's say played a little bit with the kernel and pre-installed then. So let me K3D. Oh, and maybe if I can know.
You can increase the font a little bit.
Yeah,
Great.
here we go. So if I do a K3D, so K3D, K3S in Docker, perfect. It's the version 1. So version 3 is being let's say developed by my friend Torsten. And it will bring lots of good stuff. Nominatively, the one that I'm very looking much towards is the high availability. But then this version 1 is already quite nice because we could create a cluster, okay, with one master only. So it's not a availability, but it's one master and X workers, okay. But this will be commands. So let us keep this here for now. And if you see here, unfortunately, I cannot really, let's say, go more, cannot zoom, but I have here a small icon. This icon is K3X, and K3X is part actually of a Flatpak package. So let me just go back here. So the thing that I did, it was like install Flatpak for Windows. On the show notes, you will have the links. And then K3X is done by this person, Alvaro. And if we go down, we can see that, okay, it's using Flatpak. It tells us how to install. And finally, we have the icon. So I pre-did all of that, okay? So thanks to the icon now, before that, sorry, let me just do a K3D lists. There's no clusters, okay? So here I have options, okay? And I will just create a new cluster. So this will tell me that I open K3X before, that's why. But normally it comes to the front page, that's okay. And now here, let's create a Azuretar cluster. And because we are the three musketeers here, let's have trio workers, okay? Then I will not play with it too much, but we could add the local registry for the images that will be used inside our Kubernetes cluster. We can also change the API address and port. It's really, really handy when you have multiple Kubernetes clusters, or if you're running on WSL2, then it might collide with the Docker desktop Kubernetes, because the ports, let's say standard now, it's 6443, and this might collide, okay? So here you are able to actually change the port directly. And the one that I will keep, because I want to show you, is like install dashboard, but it's not the Kubernetes dashboard. So we will see which dashboard are we talking about here, okay? So from here, once I have all my settings correct, so you can see that it's very few settings, but that's quite enough. I can click create, and now our K3S Azuretar cluster is being created. So it should take no time, as you can see. And now if I do the K3D list, first I can show you that it's here, okay? But if I do a K3D list here, I can see my cluster running on Docker, the image of the K3S, let's say, yeah, the K3S image version, sorry, and then how many workers. And the good part is, like, if I do now kubectl, again, I said no code, but that's just to show the parts here. If I do a cluster info, it will get everything that I have here. So it configured also my config file. And finally, if I do, again, kubectl get nodes, I will see my nodes here, my 3 workers and my server. So there's 4 nodes in total, okay? But
Nuno,
yes,
it's pretty much like a few seconds to create like a cluster with 3 nodes.
true.
And I guess that's very handy for testing. A lot of people using for testing, because you can create a cluster, run something for test, and destroy the whole thing.
Exactly. So think about Kind. It's the, let's say, not competitor, but it's the other Kubernetes in Docker, right? So it's Kind. That will be like the real alternative, if you want. So I always like to use either Kind or K3D. Kind has a lot of commands now also. Before it was more YAML based, and you run YAML, and if you want a multi-cluster, you have to tweak a little bit your YAML before you can run a Kind multi-node. But it's getting near that. And here is like the work really on the interface. I mean, on the CLI, sorry. If I just run K3D, you can see that there's not so much, let's say, commands that you have to know, which is kind of cool, because it's still powerful commands, right? Anyway, back here, if I click now on my cluster name, here it will open the options, okay, again. And again, I have my name now, okay? So the workers, maybe it's a small bug, but it should show the nodes here. I cannot swap anything anymore, right? But then why I opened this one is because now, look here, I have an IP address. Remember, I installed this famous dashboard. So if I click open, it will go to, oh, maybe I run too much tests before. Too bad. Okay. So that's my bad, sorry. But let's try to fix it actually.
Have you enabled the dashboard? Are you sure? Just
Yeah,
delete
yeah.
that one. Delete and create again.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the goal here. If I delete again, here we go. There's no clusters. If I do a K3D list, again, no cluster. Perfect. And let me try again. Let me just see the preferences. Okay, okay. K3S, yeah. So here it's quite nice because when it downloads, you can see the images. So if I add, let's say downloaded maybe the K3S 118 that they have, I could see it here also. But anyway, so what we want, yeah,
Oh, that's quite nice because it can. That means that we're going to be able to play with different versions.
Yeah, definitively. So the version 3 of K3D, I will show it maybe after next week, because that's when it will be really ready, which is what I'm very, very much looking for. But yeah, let me try again. But let me actually, you know what? Let me quit it and let me launch it again. Okay. Okay. And just for the sake of check, perfect. So let's try again. Cluster, I'll keep the name as it is, keep tree, and just ensure. Again, creation, and the time that I type, maybe taking a little bit more time, might be better. Okay. And again, I have my cluster. Cool. So it's still okay. Here we go. So it's running now. Okay. Then I don't have anything open. So let me click on the name. And if I click open here, too bad. Okay. Let me get. So core DNS is still okay. So it's still being deployed. So that's maybe the reason why, because there's traffic there. Okay, good. Traffic just waits for the deployment. That's the ingress controller that he was waiting. And see here, so the address is now here. So maybe we were too fast for the creation of the cluster. Let's say the services inside the cluster, not even the cluster. The cluster was created as fast. So yeah, so it's creating the pods.
Yeah, that's exactly the dashboard, the rancher ones.
Yeah, the install traffic was done also. So yeah, so the command here, so I said no commands, I lied, sorry. But the command here, kubectl get all, is really like
I guess I have to wait like a couple of 2 or 3 minutes to.
Yeah, but that's weird. Let me try to close and open again. Nah, still not, doesn't like it. Sorry, let me just Okay, and now so it's stuck at the container creating. So that's why. So maybe I added too much. The nice thing is like now let us see what's happening.
We'll describe that.
Yeah. Again. So I will just and the pod's name.
That's a Kubernetes certification question.
Cool. So failed. Okay, here he goes. So it cannot connect somehow to the else part, and oh, I thought it will be faster. I might recheck that, but it was neat when I tried this this morning, though. Yeah, I don't see. Why it refused here. Okay, it's done now. Yeah, they're running. Okay, everything is running, so it took a bit more time than expected. And yeah, I know. Here we go.
There you go.
So sorry for the wait. That was nice to see the behind the scenes. And here, the first time that we will log into the Rancher dashboard. So like I said, it was not a Kubernetes dashboard, but it was a Rancher dashboard. And here, yeah, whatever. That's cool. Why not? And so I agree. And let us continue. It will tell you which URL, but that's perfectly fine for this development, let's say in-house. And now we do have like the Rancher dashboards. Okay, so it shows me one of the cluster. So it's the first cluster, so it will show here, but we might be able in the future with Rancher, that's the now that goes a little bit beyond, let's say, this video here, but you could like select or import other clusters that are also managed by Rancher, which is like super cool. Anyway, so here, if I go to my local cluster, and now I have like, I can see what is the provider, which image it is, and how much consumption I have. And then here I can see my nodes, for example. Here they are, how many pods they are running each, for example. And yeah, and if I go to the dashboard itself, now it's the dashboard of, it's not Kubernetes dashboard, it's still Rancher dashboard, but it's directly only of this particular cluster. Okay, so now I can see like an overview, and again, if I check my nodes, they are all here. Yeah, I don't know much about the Rancher dashboard, so I will not enter too much here. But
That's
as you can
nice.
see, like
That's
there's
nice,
a service here. So yeah, they really did a really cool job. And believe me, I've been using K3D since KubeCon 2018, I think, when I met Torsten also there. And I never ever even let's say, went into this. So I guess K3X is the one like installing the dashboard for us, which is very welcome. So it was my first first meeting, the new Suzy and Rancher dashboard in K3D.
That's nice. No, thanks for showing that. You know that Rancher and Rancher OS was pretty much the first thing I use on the container, and Rancher and Docker is pretty much, everything that we're doing today with Cloud Native. We have to be very grateful for those guys that started all these things.
No, true. And I like when companies like reuse, but still bring like their innovation or bring a way different, really. I like to paraphrase someone, think different. So yeah, definitely it was they're really yeah, cool, and we should be grateful, like you said. So thank you.
Any question, Fernando?
Can we have a deployment there?
Okay, maybe next video then.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank
Good
you,
one.
everyone. Bye-bye.